Hey there, everyone. Uh, Last time we were together, we had just finished building this coal tipple. We did all of the underneath wood structure, mounted the buildings to the wood structure so that it all fit together just right. Since we've been together, I have airbrushed the building a navy blue, had a little bit of a white mixed in with it if anybody wants to try to match his color. Hand painted all of the trim gray, painted all of the brown with an airbrush as well as, or sorry, all the wood structures brown with an airbrush as well. Just a regular old brown, nothing fancy. These are all just cheap acrylics, the kind we got here. We got a folk art here and apple barrel, and we got here Craftsmart. This is all the big box store stuff you can find at Michael's and Hobby Lobby or even Walmart. Nothing fancy here. I also went ahead and I painted the bottoms of the roof sections. I did this, well, what color was this? Wrought iron, actually. I didn't want to go with a super dark black. Anyways, I did that just because when we get the roof material on, that'll throw the roof sections into shadow, so it's not a noticeable gray sticking out. As you see here, also, I threw a little piece of track in there and threw the coal cars on, and I just threw that old steam engine in just because, why not, right? Anyways, I put that all in there to try to line up the coal chutes that are underneath the coal tipple there. I don't know if you can see them in shadow. So what we're going to do today, we're going to finish this coal tipple up, hopefully. This is quite a larger build than I have done in the past. So it took me a bit longer than I planned on it. But hey, sometimes things just take time, right? Anyways, today we are going to go and weather the structure. We are going to start with just a wash. I'm probably going to use this wrought iron that I use um, underneath of the roof sections, and we're going to water it down quite a bit to give us a wash. We'll do that over all the structure. Then I'll come through with my pastel chalks and do a little more with that. After that, we are going to tackle the roof, and as I've been leading up to it, we're going to do something special with the roof. Um, we'll get there. So stay tuned. Let's get this train out of the way, and let's get started. All right, on to the first step of weathering. What I made up here in this little medicine cup is just a wash, just a dark wash. Again, I used a wrought iron. I did not want to use just a straight black. I didn't want to go quite that dark right away. You can always build it up, but you can never ever, remove it, at least not easily. It pretty much means a repaint, so we don't want to do that. So anyways, you guys have seen this done before, I'm sure, a million times. All we are going to do is I've got a nice big soft bristle brush. It's a brush, I promise it's a brush. Anyways, nice big soft bristle brush, and we're just going to do the sloppy way. I just kind of go over all of it. Let's get that, that aged look. Okay, we're going to start this weathering process again. This time I have made up a wash with black and watered it down quite a bit. Same brush as before. Just this time, like I mentioned, I'm not going to just go crazy with it. Just well, I'm gonna tell you right now, I messed up. I do not like the way this looks at all. I think the problem is that dark, you know, it just went too dark. And that's kind of what I mentioned when we first started this. You know, that black goes black real fast and goes dark real fast. And that's pretty much what she did here. Um, as you can see, they get, real dark splotchy spots, and then the blue is too light. Oh, you can really see it really well on this wall here. I think the only way that I'm going to be able to fix this is I'm going to make up another wash of that wrought iron, that lighter black. I'm going to make it a little more pigmented, a little less watery this time, and go over these entire models again. And hopefully that will darken up the blues a little bit and blend this black in a little bit better. You know, like I keep saying, learn from my mistakes. We're also going to learn how to fix them. All right? All right. So again, I'll let this dry up a little bit here and make sure it uh, keeps looking too dark, like I'm pretty certain it's going to do. And I'll put one more coat of the other blend on. I probably won't film that just because you already see me do it. We're just going to be fixing it. And we'll get back to it in just a minute. Well, 3 coats of progressively darker washes later, and this is what we've come up with. I'm kind of happy with how it turned out. Again, I made the mistake by going too dark too fast, which I said not to do, but I did it anyways. I'm kind of glad that it happened because if it wouldn't have happened, I don't think I would have went quite this dark overall with the wash, but I like the way it looks. I am going for a very run down look to begin with, so I think we're getting there. What we're going to do next is we're going to do these pastel chalks, use the brushes, of course, and do a little more weathering. If you guys have watched any of my other videos, you've seen me do this 100 times. So I'm not going to bore you with it. We're just going to go through it real quick. The only thing I will reiterate is when you're doing this, always try to keep in mind the flow of nature, how things flow. Rain and how it's going to look on the building. Rain runs down. If you're going to do like a grass or dirt on the bottom from where it's sitting close to the ground, maybe I will do a little bit of darkness right in here in case maybe this is a very old coal tipple that used to be serviced by steam engines, and there might have been some smoke residue from the steam engines there. Anyways, we're just going to get into this real quick and get this one done, and I'll be right with you. All right, for right now, that is all we are going to do for the weathering of the building. Once I get the roof done, we might come back in with some rust colors, uh, but I want to be able to have the patterns coming from off the roof onto the building. Next thing we're going to do is we are going to install the windows, and we're going to make these look a little old and a little broken too. So let's get started on that. For the windows, I use what most of us use. I use acetate. Again, something that can be picked up at almost any art supply store or Michael's. I do believe I got this at Hobby Lobby. You know, when you do these small buildings, you know, a little bit of this stuff goes a long way. But I'll grab a new sheet here. You know, as I keep mentioning, we're trying to make this look like an old distressed type of structure. You know, the whole theme, if I haven't mentioned it, for my little mini layout I'm doing is kind of a run downtown. You know, run downtown in the hills that used to be, you know, really, you know, popping with the coal mine and coal starting to run out, so things are starting to get neglected. So what we are going to use today again is the acetate. And the nice thing about doing structures like this, you know, you can do all the windows in one chunk pretty much. All right, I have all of the acetate cut out that I'm going to use for the windows. And what I'm going to do with this acetate is I'm going to make it look like it's an old roughed up window. I mean, you could put it in nice and clear, and that'd be perfect if you're doing a really nice newer structure. What I'm going to use is a piece of sandpaper. This is 150 grit sandpaper. And I'm just going to take this acetate and just randomly scratch at it. I think that's going to show. Oop, this shows up. Maybe not every bit of them all over it, just random here and there. And when I put it in there, I don't know where it's going to lay at in the window, which is actually kind of cool. After I have done that, I'm going to take this compass and take the pointy part of it. And this is going to be just a little more difficult. Let's see here. Well, for these side windows example, I come into here. Looks kind of cool already, kind of scratched up. I'll try to remember where that little window opening was and move this so it's in the frame here. Again, I'm going to take my pointy part of the compass and just make a hole in it, maybe tear at it just a little bit more. I'll do it in a couple spots. Again, I don't know exactly where it's going to line up at. It doesn't have to be perfect. See if we got anything good here. Oh, yeah. Kind of gives it that, I'll say that one right up there. I don't know if you can see it or not. Kind of gives it that busted window look. So anyways, I'm going to do that to a few more of these, and we'll glue them all in and see what it looks like. All the acetate is installed. You can see how it looks like a little crack there in the window, and windows look all beat up.